Welcome. Welcome. So excited to connect this Monday for Meditation Monday. And as you can tell, probably, I am flying. I am moving most definitely from the energies that were shared today in a new free course that I'm facilitating this week, May 3rd through to May 6th. You're more than welcome to join us if you haven't already. It is called the Creation Code, and it is, yes, I'm flying high from that. So, welcome to a moment of grounding, a moment to be able to fly in a different way. And I think that, and I'm encouraged to move through some meditation that will assist you in moving beyond current vision. We've spoken a lot in these past Meditation Mondays together of, well, just the process, the commitment, the malleability of movement in mind, in heart, in so many parts of us as we sit and be still. And I'm excited and encouraged to check in with you, and you're welcome to comment and bring up some queries that have shown up in your meditation practice this week. But how has your practice been? Do you feel that you're just kind of following protocol, right? Following the order of how to do a specific meditation? For there's so many different types of meditative practices. And I was thinking of this recently because, of course, I don't teach a specific practice. I guide through multiple ways of meditation. And so sometimes a specific practice can feel very comforting because it gives you a certain order to the process. And thinking of specific ones like mindfulness meditation, or there's certain actual sects in from India that share certain meditations from specific ashrams, from specific teachers. And so I'm encouraged, if you're welcome to share if you have a specific meditation practice that you really enjoy. Because please know that these Meditation Mondays, I'm never trying to go like, do it only this way, right? The beautiful thing of meditation is it allows you greater awareness. And with that greater awareness, you'll be able to feel the awareness within of what heart is sharing with you, and as well what you are deciphering from these certain protocols that may benefit you at this time. So that's my little ditty on on different types of practices. But I had such a wondrous weekend of meditation and journeying with individuals that and then moved right into this course that I'm facilitating this week, that it's been quite the journey. And I'm encouraged to check in on, have you in your meditation practice connected to your vision or your purpose? For it's a big word, purpose. It's and I love how, I think back in the day, it was Neil Donald Walsh that got really popular in saying in his book and in some of his conversations around conversations with God, of like, how we just wish that there's then, like you'll look out into the sky and the sky will have written exactly what your purpose is in this world. And then you're like, okay, got it. Thank you very much. And you can actually go do it. But of course, the purpose that we receive from spirit, from connection in meditation to all that we are, our body, our soul, and our spirit, is it takes time to acclimate what you receive for sometimes in seeing further and in moving into what you may have written for this lifetime can bring up a lot of stuff to move through, right? Kind of like I'm just, this is so wild. My light is not flickering. So spirit is just in full agreement of this message. They're like, speak, like there's what happens after you may go on these kind of deep type of clarifying meditations. It's so neat because, when you're uncertain and unclear, you're like, I want to get clear. And then when you get clear, you're like, whoa, cowabunga. What am I supposed to do with that clarity? I don't know if I'm worthy of this. All the self-doubt comes up, all the uncertainty comes up, even in the clarity. And for sure, there's still processing. There's still cycles to do in acclimating self to your vision. So I'm encouraged today to actually, our seated meditation will be a vision journey. So we'll be able to move into connecting further into what you may be ready to receive of your purpose. Yay! And in that, though, I wish to address any concerns that you may have prior to doing something like that, any questions that may come up. For the one thing that is protocol in moving beyond, moving into further realms than present, is to understand that all that is accessible in presence, all that is accessible in the meditation experience is highlights to us that time cycles are obviously not linear, are obviously, this past and this future type of idea, right, is usually we define what is past and what is future from what our mind feels is either a memory, what has felt or remembered to be experienced before, or what feels like it's not been experienced before, but may feel familiar. And so you're like, oh, okay, this must be future. And of course, time cycles are not just past, present, future. Time cycles are sharing more so the four parts of the breath, right? So if we look to that easiest model that we work with in meditation of intake of breath, the movement that's within you in the intake of breath, that type of fullness of movement, the outtake of breath, and then the fullness of movement that is outside of you, kind of the clearing of what is within. Then we can see that time cycles are usually actually in four. Okay, so whatever, if you ever heard of the fourth dimension, that is the cycles of time, that is accessing all that is time. And so in energy medicine and in working with spirit, of course, what we do is we move through those cycles of time and we access them through the breath. We access them through the energy that is built within the breath, and we allow the breath to be a messenger to move us to where we need to go. Hence why there are many meditations out there. And I'm sure you've heard this. I used to hear this a lot from actually meditation teachers who taught me more tantric practices. They were like, once you go past the half-hour mark in meditation, you could actually rewrite your past. And what they were meaning by that is that, of course, after being in presence for a long enough time, you could actually take your journey and move with the breath into memory, into previous instances that are registered within your mind, within your body, and revisit them, but in the observer mode, because in meditation we observe. We are not participating per se in what we may be witnessing. And so you kind of step back into the past in observer mode. And in that observer mode, you're able to either bring forgiveness or shift perspective in what you see. Which can be very powerful for when you step out of meditation. There would be less triggers around that past experience. So now, in understanding that aspect that you can access with the meditation of moving into past and rewriting things, then of course that opens up. Then you're like, well, I can also then move through the cycle of the breath into future aspects of self. And this practice is of moving into future aspects of self. I usually recommend to people when they have a really pressing question, like they have two choices to make. They're like either this or that. And so you can always then, again, step into meditation, get into that now state, and then actually call in the aspect of you that did this choice, and started that walk. And then call in the aspect of self that made this choice and did that walk. And from there, you can then actually, once you call in that aspect of self that is in a future timeline, be it like 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever you request and intend, then you can sit in the energy and the presence of that aspect of self and sense what energy and what presence feels most supportive for your journey. And it's a great way to assist in making choices now. So with that being said, then you're like, oh my goodness. So every single choice I'm making, every single decision I'm making will create kind of like a potential timeline that I could travel forward to and access that part of self in. So then what is future really? You're like, oh, it's just, accessing all these different options. And so then when we get into what is my purpose, or what is like the thing that I meant to do, you're welcome to add in the other questions that come around it. We've usually in my purpose being a noun, purpose being like one thing. It's not like you're asking what are my purposes, right? Or what is my true path? Let's say, what is my most integral path? What is the one that will allow me to feel the immense joy and ease and love in and how I walk? Can get a little clearer in the question than simply purpose. We realize that there's a bit of almost a fallacy in asking purpose, because of course your purpose is what you choose, right? Like you are walking the true path right now, and however it has shown up for you, it is yours. And so in going, what is the purpose of this path, right? What is the reasoning maybe behind this path? And please, as I said, fill me in what else comes up around purpose, because I'm just sharing from what comes from within, as well as from what I'm reading from with spirit. So what is the reasoning? Why am I here? Type of idea. It's like, well, you're here to create your path. You're here to walk it. And so instead, a vision quest is usually, or a journey into further kind of like destiny or purpose, or these things that are incredibly sound magical, is more so that you choose to, instead of access the multiple timelines that come with choice, right? Of going, do I turn left? If I turn left, let me connect to the person who turned left right now. Do I turn right? Let me connect to the person that turned right now. Because every single choice, every movement, every step we take, then technically is creating another path, if you think of it that way. But once we feel that the direction and the force behind our movement is the intention itself, is the purpose itself, and if we are choosing to be an integrated being, right? Like going, I'm aware that I am body, soul, and spirit, then the trajectory in a vision is literally just going, I want to see further. You're just asking, basically, instead of to like figure out what's hidden, it's not hidden. You're just going, I want to see further than I can see now. Does that make sense? I want to see further than I can see now. And so with that intention, in the trust that you are walking your true path, that you are of spirit, then you are simply asking to move beyond your current vision, your current sight, so that, and then what may come, and this is one thing, is some people get very caught up then and going, okay, I'll put a directive of how far I want to see. I want to see beyond my current vision 5 years from now, 1 year, 6 months, right? You get the kind of limit of where you are going to. And the challenge sometimes with that is that depending on the choices that you will make, be it from this moment moving forward, right? And depending on the amount of times you may step away, be out of, again, that self-doubt or uncertainty or whatever, and you kind of like prolong making a decision, prolong saying the yes to the next step on your path, asking for like 5 years, 3 months, 6 months kind of doesn't make sense when you're asking to see further. And why that is because that is in the intention that you would say yes then to every single step to get you to that point. But as we know, we have sometimes, depending on what surfaces, in order for us to make our next yes and make our next step forward, sometimes that what surfaces requires some time to not move forward and to process and to heal and to move through what has arisen. And so then you realize you're like, oh, it's not necessarily like where I want to see where I will be in 5 years or 6 months, because that vision may be untrue because it is not acknowledging your free will. It is not acknowledging your right to sometimes say, no, I don't want to step towards the next step. Right now, I need to sit and process what is coming up. This is a big topic. I hope this is bringing up some things. So then you're like, okay, so I asked to see further beyond the vision that I can see, right? Which will then allow me to witness kind of my goal, the purpose, the reasoning behind my movement, right? Behind the direction that I have so chosen that rings true. But I can't ask a specific time, because that's not honoring my free will and not honoring that there will be certain steps that may require more space and time dependent on me. So what do? You then actually kind of step in with a very clear intention of just going, I am ready to see further of what I am ready to see type of idea, right? And so in that kind of open intention to see further on your path, then you can move beyond those kind of stops and pauses, right? And start to really see beyond what is the reasoning for the work that you do, or your reasoning for being here now and walking this path. And when you do that, this is when I need to share some protocol. Because, of course, then I'm sure you may almost kind of summarize that you could go very, very far in your sight, dependent on your practices, dependent on how much you have practiced in presence and breath, and you may have access beyond many dimensions that others may be still working within. And so, dependent on your personal practice, you may go very, 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 very far. And so then when you go very far in seeing something, the mind will come in, just like the mind does in meditation, and go, what? Like, what's this? I have no idea how to get there, right? Like, or kind of like get all of a sudden get really, whoa, this is really wild. This is really big. And part of the processing of course, that future, or that very, very far vision of what is to come on your journey through time and space and consciousness, in that clarity, part of what will be required to process through all that time will come up now. And so the one thing I can share is that if overwhelm or uncertainty, or all of the self-doubt and the negative self-talk, like this isn't true, or that type of things comes up, then in the knowing that may arise in vision quests, that to be prepared for it, so that when it may arise within the mind, you can go, I'm ready for this. I can breathe into this and know that this is not the end. And then what you can do is you can ask from what you have received, what you have seen, to then ask, where am I now in that path? Which will then slowly draw you back towards where you are right now. And that movement, and I would say, we really like to do things quickly, which can be very discombobulating, can't they? So but as you see and as you witness birds, right, they can fly, but they're not running a race in their flight. They are riding the waves. They're riding and working and resonating with the air around them, with the other things that may be in the sky, right? So allow yourself to feel that the waves, just like the wings of a bird, that you are gently moving back. And as you gently move back to where you are, you're then slowly able to gather how far that is, which then can allow yourself to accommodate going, okay, there's some time for me to prepare for that. and that will just give you a greater purpose for the next couple steps that do come intuitively. Okay. Questions? Any, as I give some gratitude to water? You're welcome to bring up any questions now prior to us moving. No questions? Okay. Let yourself take a good stretch. We have been sitting for a bit. You're welcome to do any movement that you desire to stretch out your body, and then get into a comfortable seat. If you so choose to do this vision quest tonight, and find a comfortable way of not kind of limiting any or bringing any excess pressure into the legs, so that you can have a very clear connection to the ground. For we have to anchor first to the earth. And if you are super exhausted and doing it lying down, to visualize when I speak of the root, that it's coming from the back of your sacrum and pelvis, that's moving towards the earth. The energy is moving towards the earth that way. And any other preparations? When you do lie down, though, because visioning and moving into sight can be very multidimensional and expansive, you may wish to sleep. And I want you to not feel or freak out about that. It's not just honoring the need to sleep and then maybe you'll still be there. Like, you might actually just start to doze. And that is because in higher frequency energies that sometimes will soothe the physical body so much. And if the physical body is tired, it will want to rest. So this is also a practice and a meditation that you can do, a couple days consecutively. And that will start to, one, give the rest that your body really wants and craves, so that you can see further in a well-rested state. And it will prepare the process, basically, for you to see further as well. So the one thing I wish to share is that If you do not see much the first time, that is okay. That is why a meditation practice is a practice, and it moves regularly. And we do it regularly, so then you can just go, okay, this week I will work on this meditation, and you do it until you feel that you have received. That is an easy way to work with a specific practice or a specific meditation style. Okay. So on that note, allow your arms to relax. I'm just going to shift my chair a bit so that can happen. And let yourself take some deep belly breaths. Just beginning to bring the observer into observing the movement of your belly. How your belly expands on the inhale. And how then even the breath may move between the inhale and the exhale further up into your body. And then on the exhale, how the belly draws in and how the energy may move downwards. And so that knowing and connection to the 4-part breath just welcoming the movement between the in and the out. And feel that the intention of where you are directing the out breath, the energy that is expelling from you, the intention is to move that towards the earth. You will know when you have grounded and connected to the heart of the earth, for your heart will feel more active. You'll feel how on the intake of breath, the energy of the earth, Earth Mother, all the loving beings that support you on your journey, in your now, are moving upwards to connect to your heart. Every exhale, you are sending that love to them, that gratitude to them. And just stay here, fostering and growing that gratitude of connection to the earth and to your heart, to your body and to the earth body. Honor any fluctuations within you that may not feel grateful or loving. welcome them as well. Give them space. Bring your awareness now to your belly. To what may be moving and fluctuating within there. To feel how your breath begins to generate more movement, so you can draw support from the earth into the fluctuations or turmoil within. So awareness of your belly and honoring the fluctuations within may also activate and connect you to the energy of the pineal gland within your mind, your third eye. So welcome in the expansion in both spaces. As you acclimate and allow the movement in those places, you may naturally find an easeful and gentle movement of the energy from your belly to move up into your plexus region, that area between heart and belly. Observe the space and what tension as well as expansion may be there. Just breathing into that inner sun. Let your breath gently move from your mouth so it welcomes the energy of your throat as well. By this point, you might feel a yearning to truly reach the heart. Accept any emotions and any thoughts that may come. as you begin to explore the area of your heart, of your chest, just discovering where your breath may need to roam, areas at the back of your chest and ribs, sides up to your armpits, front up to your collarbones, honor any difficulties on the inhale or the exhale. And just find the rhythm that works for you now, bringing more ease into your breathing pattern. Become aware of your ears, how the energy of the heart feels like it is drawing up to the ears. Welcome any sounds that may come and may go. And just maintain the rhythm of your breath. Become aware of your knees. Which may confuse the mind to begin with. To see how you can move the energy that you are cultivating within even to your knees, even through your arms. Welcome any sensations that may welcome that focus towards that area of your body. There are great energy centers by the knees. Become aware of your crown, top of your head, even just above your head. Envisioning a beautiful golden globe lighting just above your head. It may even expand and light up the globe within your mind, pineal gland. Envision the globe in the throat, this golden orb. Don't worry what size each orb is. Vision the golden orb that sits within your chest. Welcoming all sensation that comes as you activate these light centers. One may assist another too. So as you focus on one, your awareness may go to another to feel it more succinctly. Envision a golden orb of light in your plexus. In your belly. Just maintaining your rhythm of the breath. Envisioning a golden orb of light right the opening of your pelvis. By your root. Feel how that flows down to a golden light orb between your knees. And how that moves down to connect to a golden orb between your ankles. Allow all of this to expand until you are in a whole golden light orb. And this golden light orb that is surrounding your whole being is what will contain you as you travel to see further. Bring your awareness to your heart, the center of this orb. And as you ask to see further your purpose, ask for your heart to light a path for you to see. It may come from your heart in front, to the side, to the back, wherever it comes from. It's okay. And begin to move your whole being, riding the waves through space, along this path. Into the heart, and through the portal of the heart, to breathe and acclimate as you find and locate the path and continue to walk it, or to move, float along it. You may see things as you move. You're welcome to take in all that you may see. Ask to reach the destination of where you are meant to see today. You will know when you arrive. Once you arrive, use the light of your being to begin to see what shapes, what begins to appear in this space that you have accessed. Words may appear, people, plants, Just open to see all that may come. Soften your eyes so you can see within. Feel the energy move within your body as you acclimate to this place. Promise your spirit, the one that you are, that you will journey here again to receive more as needed. But now you request your spirit, your being, to bring you slowly back through time, through space, through consciousness, to where you are right now. Honoring however long or however slow the journey may be. Moving back into your heart, back to your center. And then breathing the energy of the journey through your whole being until you nurture it into the earth itself. You start to feel toes and fingers, just to be very gentle, maybe pressing one or another as you continue to breathe and embody all that you connected to, grounding it into the earth, grounding it into your body. Honoring that the exhales may already begin the release process of things that already may move through you, that are no longer needed to be carried. Bring your hands to your arms when you're able to with touch, acclimate your soul, your body, and your spirit, integrating them together. Giving yourself a big heart hug. Breaths, you can stretch and breathe as you wish. And when you so choose, you can open your eyes. Drinking lots of water will help what has moved and where you have traveled to continue to acclimate into your body. Any grounding practices like food, walks, or just lying on the floor and breathing and connecting to the earth. Sharing your experience with the earth can be very helpful. This is an optimum time to sit with pen or voice note and to just share what comes, to let it flow. And if nothing comes and you simply feel tired and ready to rest, then do so. And trust that more will come as you practice. I breathe with you. We breathe together. May we continue to see further. Breathe into our vision and embody and acclimate them into our next steps forward. Thank you. You're welcome to share anything within comments at any time. I am here. Take care.